Okay, Kermit Weeks here. I am at Aero Trader. Came out to see the A-26, and the other day, yesterday, I bopped over very quickly to see the guys that plays Planes of Fame, Steve Hinton, a bunch of the workers over there, and to my surprise, Rod Lewis's new de Havilland Mosquito was being assembled. Apparently Steve had done like 15 hours of flying in it down in New Zealand, and they shipped it up, and they were putting it together. So I thought, what a cool deal if I did a little video of their assembly. Oh my God, this thing is a piece of art. It is so freaking beautiful. Okay, let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. Oh my God, P63 probably. Check this out. Oh my God, is this what's happening, man? Good morning. This appears to be the proper gentleman, I'm saying. What's happening? Hey. Good. Yeah. I'll check with Rod, but you know, I did a video of the Connie and he said, yeah, no sweat. So, too cool.
Yeah.
So how long you guys been here?
This is third week.
Third week. Oh
So
my
2
God.
weeks and 2 days.
Unbelievable. This thing is a piece of art. They got one prop on. They didn't have that on the other day. Isn't this interesting how for some reason it's a 12-cylinder engine, but they've got 5 exhaust stacks on each side. I think it's because of the deal, the radiator over here is, you know, it's kind of in the way and they can't get a stack there, so they just go ahead and put it on 5. My Mosquito is got the transport engines on them, and it basically I think it sits further out so it fits. Oh my gosh, they were doing gear swings yesterday. Of course it's low right now. It's probably for pre-oil in the engine. Oh my God. And this one is set up to where it's got dual controls in it, which is pretty cool. I think it's the same basic size as, you know, mine. They're all pretty much similar, but then they had different versions of whether or not it was a bomber, fighter, cannons, guns, or whatever. But this one's got dual controls, and look where the throttles are. It's kind of interesting. Very different. Well, no, I see it's just a different set because the original ones for the single pilot, they're over there. Too cool. And it was interesting. I came over and I was asking because at some point, you know, mine's up at the Oshkosh Museum in Wisconsin and the EAA. And at some point, I got to be able to take mine apart and get it back home. Of course, these guys are all excited about, hey Kermit, you need to send it down to New Zealand and stuff, but right now this will be the 5th one flying, or it's already been flying. But see, this comes out here. The guy was explaining to me yesterday. This comes out on each side, and you can see how it bolts up to the top here. Okay, and of course all this stuff in here has got to be disconnected. These pieces come off, and the whole wing, which is a one-piece wing, comes up, and they put a strap under here. They put a strap in the back and they just pick the whole thing up. And the back end here, that whole top piece there, it comes up, and then, you know, once the wing's done there, then they've got some supports that go between there that bolt to keep it from breaking the fuselage up on the top there. Of course, these things in New Zealand, all the wood is brand freaking new, you know. And I mean, you know, rebuilding the normal wings and tail feathers and stuff is not an overly big deal from a woodwork point of view, but this is the kicker right there. And basically, you know, somebody spent a lot of time making the molds and everything to put this together. This is different than the Lockheed Vega. The Lockheed Vega has you know, 3 plies. It's got an outer ply, an inner ply, and then another ply. So it's got 3 like 1/32 things. So it's like 3/32, I think, is the final ply. But this one here has got a plywood, or yeah, it's got plywood on the outside. There's plywood on the inside, and then there's like a thick, I don't know how thick it is, but there's a piece of balsa wood, actually, I think, in the middle as a core. So it's a very, very different construction. Tail wheel retracts. That was retracting yesterday. Anyway, it's just so, these things are just so freaking beautiful. I don't know if you can see anything inside here, but amazing. Flap rams right there. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, this one doesn't have the big intercooler deal there, and it looks like it's got just a single stage blower. I'll have to ask them. I'm not totally privy on all the Merlin differences, but God, just all the tubing and it's just a piece of art. Now I wonder where they do the coolers. Huh. Yeah, so that's the radiator for the coolant, and that would be probably the oil cooler. Man, that's not very big though, unless they got one somewhere else. Huh. God, they've already been here for 3 freaking weeks. Look at the freaking guns on that thing. Oh my God. So it looks like you got like 430s and 420s. Holy crap. Of course, that's interesting. So normally when this thing had 420 cannons in it, it would have been in the bomb bay, right? Yeah. Yeah, so they would have probably come back about halfway in the bomb bay?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So
Fascinating.
pretty much half of your bomb bay.
Oh my God. So they just basically put them in there just for looks on this one?
Yeah.
Now, would they have ever had a dual control one with all the guns and stuff in the front?
This one, when new, would have had everything apart from the cannon.
Apart from the cannons. Okay, so it had dual
rockets.
controls, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And rockets and bombs. And the
Oh
303s. that
my
has.
God. And you all just, Steve Hinton flew like 15 hours down there and New Zealand put time on it?
Yeah.
And you all shipped it up and putting it together, and you've been here 3 weeks already.
Yeah, this is the start of the 3rd week.
And so how long does it take to put this thing together?
We're here till the 30th, so another 2 weeks we're here for. But I'd say we'll be finished before then.
Oh my gosh, too cool. Well, man, Rod's got to be excited.
I hope so.
So this one doesn't have the intercooler up there. What's the story of this Merlin?
Just a single stage.
Yeah, it's got a single stage.
Yes.
And so is it the only ones that have the intercoolers are two stage?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Mainly the bombers. The
And,
class
and,
guys.
and just out of curiosity, because I was just at an oil cooler place, and there was a Mustang radiator there, and you know, on the Hamilton radiator, it's split up in thirds. There's 2/3 that does all the coolant here, and then the other one, what does that cool? The other third, how does the intercooler work?
No, this one doesn't have an intercooler, no.
No, it doesn't have one,
the
but
two-stage version.
huh?
The intercoolers on the two-stage ones are down below, aren't they? Or is that the oil cooler?
Nah, they're another radiator in behind the radiator.
Right, but what are they cooling relative to, like if the main radiator is cooling the cylinders and stuff? What the intercooler that is back there? Has it got like 4 gallons? Like on my Mosquito, there's a 4-gallon
Of coolant.
tank there. But what's it cooling that's different than the other part of the cooler?
Well, the intercooler is connected to its own little radiator, and it's cooling the air charge going into the motor.
That's right. Okay, yeah, going into the carburetor.
Yeah.
Okay, from the carburetor into the.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Huh. But how, okay, so then I guess my question is, how's it? Oh, because it's being compressed. It's compressing the air. It's heating it up. So that's what it is. Okay, there we go. I got it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Too cool. Yesterday they showed me the container that they did. So they have 2 containers that were, these are normal rentable 40 footers, okay? This one they custom made, okay? And basically this little thing over here, the wing is like 52 feet, okay? And so what they did is they made 2 of these things that basically slide into the end of each end of that container, which they own, okay? You see where the forklifts pick it up. And it basically I don't think they'd mind if I opened it up and just took a peek. Anyway, yeah, anyway, so what happens is they basically it extends it out to here so they can fit the whole 52-foot wing in there. So they got a 40-foot there, and that's probably, you know, they need another 12 feet plus space. So anyway, so that's what they do. And because it's a funky length, okay, they don't ship it on a normal container ship. They ship it on somebody that brings up like fruit from New Zealand once a week or something like that, and they've got a special place and a special deal they use to do that. So oh my God, too cool. Oh my God. And the little ends of the guns here, they're plastic or rubber. Oh my God, that is just too cool. Oh my God. Oh man, good luck guys. Super duper. Okay, I gotta come down and see you down there in New Zealand, man.
Yeah. Are you heading off soon?
Yeah, I've got a flight out today at 5. I'm heading up to the mountains of Utah and gonna be writing and stuff. My mother passed away in October, and she was kind of grew up out there, so we're gonna intern her ashes out there.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but
Yeah, that'll be bittersweet, I guess.
so as I understand it, you guys basically, do you buy just the fuselage and build the wings and this stuff, or do you buy the whole thing and then finish the airplane?
Yeah,
This is-
so there's another company in Auckland that does the woodwork for
Right.
us. So we contract them to make the fuselage and the horizontal and vertical
Okay.
and the wings.
Okay.
And we supply them all the metal work that has to be bolted in while they're doing it, hold it in the fixtures. And then when it's sort of all raw wood and ready to be covered, they send it down to us and we start that
Okay.
process from the raw wood onwards.
Oh my gosh. So do they have any other ones that they're working on right now?
Yeah,
So this
that-
is the 5th one, is that right?
This is the fourth one.
Fourth one.
They're doing number 5 now. The wing is nearly finished. And that one's going to go to the UK. So, yeah,
Oh, cool.
number 5's underway. With number 6, we've built the fuselage for that, but we haven't got a customer for that one yet.
I'll be darned. Well, you never know. I mean, yeah, at some point, yeah, it'd be cool to get mine going, but you know, maybe I just need to have two: an original one and then a flying one. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
No, my
You
God.
never have too many.
Yeah. No, I think it's just awesome. I mean, these things are pieces of art. I mean, the work you guys do is amazing. Oh my God. Well, if you ever get down to Florida, man, come by and see
All
me.
right, love
Okay?
to.
Yeah, good deal. Good to see you again.
Jolly good.
All right, so I got Steve here. So, Steve, you just flew like 15 hours in this down in New Zealand? Is
New
that-
Zealand, yeah. Mhm,
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
I went down there. It's the third time I've been there, so flew the other two that were there. And,
Which would have been the Paul Allen one and Rod's first one? Or?
actually, let me think about this. Maybe it was. I didn't fly that. Actually, I didn't fly Rod Allen's one. That was
Yeah, up in
yeah,
Seattle, yeah.
up in Seattle. It was the other one then. Okay, so I've been there twice, right? Twice?
Yeah.
Twice. Sorry, not 3 times. Sorry.
Well, cool.
Yeah, but it's got a nice operation, nice little beautiful airport there, and we're just real conservative with it. And actually, the whole time we flew it, we did nothing but maybe adjust flap because it's wing heavy on one side, and I mean really nothing.
Wow.
The airplane.
And
is
how's
pretty-
this? Because okay, now I remember you'd never flown one, and I remember talking to you, you know, and just saying about how the throttles were.
Yeah.
You know, you really got to lead with the left one, but because of the torque and stuff, because the props turn the same way. And the first one you flew was up in Canada.
Yeah,
Is that right?
That's like the one you have. Yeah,
Right.
that was a bomber version.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and there's an interesting story about that. Speaking about torque and all, a lot of gentlemen there flew them in the war, and they, for some reason, there was 7 or 8 guys there, and they were all.
Huh.
They'd all come out, and well, we spent several weeks there working on the airplane, just inspecting it. They did a great job on the plane, but still, I this first Mosquito I'd ever been around, so we spent a lot of time with it.
I understand it's really hard getting up and down the ladder.
Getting down is fast, let me tell you. Yeah. But the point making, a couple of the guys kept saying, "Now be careful, it's got a lot of swing on takeoff." That's what they call torque.
Yeah.
Swing. I go, yeah, well, thanks. I've flown planes with a lot of swing. I know what you mean. And even to right before I flew it again, one of the gentlemen came up to me and says, "Remember, you did that?" And I go, "Thank you, I appreciate it." And so when I stood the throttles up on takeoff, it's got a lot of swing on takeoff.
Yeah.
And you do have to throttle back. You had told me that anyway.
Yeah, you just lead with the left one.
Just a little
basically.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much with this though.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, the other one, the props are out a little further. The engines are out another foot, I think. And
Okay.
this one, you can stuff this one up pretty quick.
Huh. So how does this one fly different than the?
It's a little lighter.
Oh, it is lighter.
A little faster. Yeah, maybe 10 knots.
And what's
faster.
the okay? So what the engines that's on mine's a B50 35, I think.
35, yeah. You have the big transport 2-stage Merlins.
Right.
And these are single-stage Merlins. So
But there's similar horsepower, aren't they? 1,500 horsepower.
Yeah, but like I say, the fact that they're out there a little further, I think, makes a difference.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. So.
Really. But other than that, the fly's kind of the same?
It flies pretty much the same, yeah.
I'll be damned.
They're easy to fly. VMC's pretty high, but actually I played with the Paul
It'd
Allen
take-
one quite a bit, because like when Kevin Eldridge and I were flying it, we were, what is really VMC? What is really critical speed?
Right.
And it builds speed real quick. Once you hit about 130
Yeah,
knots.
but it takes forever for the gear to come up.
But when you hit about 130 knots, like you take off, put the gear up right away,
Yeah.
and hit 130 knots, you could, if you close the right engine down or just pull it back to idle, and then you have to throttle the good engine back, so like plus
Just because
8
of the yaw.
to 10. Yeah, you know, we got to
Yeah.
keep control of it.
Right.
And once the gear's up, though, because it'll be just about up. It's up within a minute from the time you put the throttles to it on takeoff. Yeah, you can get around the pattern with that. Let's put it that way. We're not flying at military weights or whatever.
Right.
And if you leave the throttles up, I mean, it'll get 150 knots, 160 knots pretty quick.
Cool.
Yeah. It's blind, like you know. You
Yeah,
can't see
yeah.
out of it. It's got big old
It's better
wheels.
than a Spirit of St. Louis.
Well, I can imagine. Yeah. It's got big old wheels. Lands a lot like a DC-3.
God, just walk around over the landing gear. It's just like like putting your laundry out. You know, it's just there's so much drag.
Yep.
Oh my God! And it takes forever for it to come up.
And flaps are a big time drag when you're full flaps.
Right.
It's a big time drag.
Huh. And has this one got the where you got to on the right side crank the radiator flaps open and
No,
close?
these are hydraulic. So you just flip a switch open, flip a switch.
Oh,
close.
you're
Yeah,
kidding.
right. Yeah. It's like I say, it's a little different. You know,
I'll
kind
be
of-
darned.
And but these guys really have it figured out. So for
Huh.
when they build.
So you've flown 4 different
Yeah.
Mosquitoes? That's pretty good, man. You got me beat. You probably got more time than I do. I don't know how much time I got, but
I don't have
less
a
than
lot of
100
time.
hours.
Yeah, I have less than 100 hours.
Yeah.
But it's a warbird. Flies like a warbird. It's a beautiful airplane. It handles real good. It holds the speed good. You know, rods we've rolled it. It rolls real easy.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the way it rolls.
Huh.
You know, that one in England had, I don't know what they did. I've seen the video. They
Oh.
pulled up, or either
Yeah,
it wasn't
British
intentional.
Aerospace one.
It wasn't intentional, or they didn't know anything.
No, he
about
did. I
what they
think
were
he
doing.
pulled it up.
He pulled it up. It was going way up and high.
Yeah, and then he
it kind of
just-
flew sideways as
Right.
it's kind of trying to roll, but it rolls like any other airplane.
Yeah.
We didn't loop it or anything, but it
No.
builds speed fast, and
Yeah.
I could see why it would be a good military airplane. I mean, it
Oh my
gets with
God.
it. It goes.
Awesome. Well,
You can
super.
easily indicate just cruising around 220 knots, 230 knots without any trouble at all.
Now, have any of the guys? I've got drop tanks on mine. Did any of the guys put drop tanks on them?
Well, the Mark 35 had drop tanks.
Okay.
And then Rod's had the one that Charles Summers had the rockets on it. That slows it down pretty good.
Huh.
But a clean little airplane like this, as you can see, it's smooth. It's nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. You
course.
bring your bride down to Florida sometime and see
Well,
what we've been up to.
One of these days. Well, we always
Yeah.
do when we're in the area.
Good, good.
Good to see it coming
All right. You guys take it easy, man. Thanks. Thanks, Steve. Awesome. Anyway, get it from the expert, the current expert. You have sorted out Carl with the A-26, and then I am headed out to the mountains of Utah for 10 days overnight.